Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Newsmakers podcast and videocast series. Today, we get to talk with Nick Scarnecchia, who is the president and owner of Six and Fix HVAC and Refrigeration. Thanks for joining us, Nick.
Thank you, Kyle. Appreciate you having me on.
First, I want you to, if you could, explain the name of the company, because I think that's going to explain the topic we want to talk about today. So why don't you talk about the company name there, please?
Yeah, so Six and Fix, it's derived from our ability to provide customers rapid service. You call us by 6 p.m. and you get your air conditioning fixed, same day service. So any customer that calls, new or existing client calls by 6 p.m., they will get a technician out their house that day.
And you launched your company with this, I'm assuming, right? This is, I assume you did maybe some market research, and talk about why you decided to go this route.
Yeah, certainly. So when we were marketing our business or developing our business, we were really spending a lot of time developing what and who our customer is and how our services are different than others. And doing market research through focus groups, we realized that service expectation times of service, how long it takes for a technician to get to someone's home, was the number one reason why a customer would call a company for response time. So we took that information and really started diving into how we can make that work, and we were able to birth the name of Six and Fix and created that as our company. And it's now not just our name, but it's what we do. It's our culture. It's our company, so it's not a gimmick. It's not something we offer from certain time to time. We live and die by it. It is our name. It's who we are, and it's what we do.
How do you, broad question, right? How do you make it happen? I mean, it's, I guess you're guesstimating pretty well how many, based on weather and other kind of factors, how many calls you're going to get in a specific day?
Yeah, it's very difficult. It's definitely not something that's not taken. We have to take a lot of consideration, a lot of time, a lot of planning. We have to have first, strict rules and guidelines of how we book calls, and obviously, making sure that our team is and they're ready to handle the workload that comes in. But the biggest thing is it's really our people. They believe in what we do. They're willing to put in the extra effort. They're willing to make sure they get things done right the first time, so we can minimize callbacks. And by minimizing callbacks and return visits, we're able to handle new work constantly. But it's a team that really makes it happen. But yeah, it's a lot of planning, a lot of forecasting, and it's something that we have to keep our finger on the pulse daily, because it can get out of control if we're not paying attention to what's going on.
Sure. Well, interesting that you bring up team there, because I am kind of curious about this. I know I talked to a lot of HVAC contractors. They have a hard time getting people. Now you're bringing people in, and you're open 7 days a week. I'm assuming of Christmas, Thanksgiving, all that kind of stuff. So does that make it even harder? And how do you, I guess you're getting people to buy into the company culture, but talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so it was very difficult at the very beginning because the way we do and how we schedule our techs was new and out of the ordinary. We really, once we knew that we had to cover 7 days a week, we started looking at other type of industries that have to do that as well. And we looked at the emergency response, because we are an emergency response company. That's what we do. And so we started looking at emergency responders, the police department, the fire department, the nurses, those type of things, and realized, well, they have to cover 7 days a week and 24/7, and they have to have people do that as well. So how can we, find a way to mimic that into our industry? And we used a lot of that to mirror how we're able to do that. So our technicians work 4 days on, 3 days off. There's shifts, and it's a rotating shift. So they have, so much time off and so much time on. And to the point that our technicians average week is they're only working maybe 14 hours a month or 14 days a month. So they get half the month off, but yet are making the same amount of money that they would work 20 days of the month or 25 days of the month. And so, really making sure we match the compensation to what the expectations are, and really also figuring out that work-life balance. So they, in an HVAC world, our technicians have a work-life balance. We ran into some problems in the past, and we even ran a survey with our guys and asked them, hey, would you be interested in going back to the traditional schedule Monday through Friday and going on call? And every one of them said, absolutely not. They've been poached by other companies to come work for them and offered them more money and all these other things. And they said, no, I'm not leaving. I work 4 days a week. That's it. Like, and I don't have to ask for time off. Like it's very easy. So our people really buy into what we offer, and that allows them to not have the burnout, not feel the pressure from home if they have kids and wives, and or if they are single and they want to do other things. They have the ability to actually enjoy their time off and not just be a slave to the HVAC business through the hottest seasons of the month.
That's interesting, yeah, because I was kind of looking at it from one perspective, right, and the fact that people have to work, weekends a little bit later at night, but actually you're making a better work-life balance. That's interesting. What was the reaction in the marketplace? Were they surprised or not confident they were going to live up to the hype, or to talk about how the community responded to you?
Well, customers loved it. I mean, a lot of people are skeptical at the very beginning. I mean, they still are. I mean, people will call up and our technicians show up and they're like, "I can't believe it. You guys are here." And we're like, "What do you mean?" Like, I called 2 hours ago. It's 98 degrees out, and everybody else told me it's going to be 4, 5, 6, 8 days so they can come out to my home, and you guys are here within a couple hours. Like, I don't get it, and it really throws them off for a set. But then once they get that service, they're like, wow, they're not going, this is the best thing ever. If someone showed up, we made every possible attempt to get it fixed. We work very diligently on making sure that we have temporary solutions in place, that if it's a larger repair that can't be done, if the customer approves the repairs, then we're going to bring temporary units out to the home. We're going to be doing things that other people won't do because we're trying to offer a level of service that customers really expect these days. And when we, when you're in your home and your air conditioning's out, it's unbearable. You can't live in that house. And so having solutions to temporarily get him through until the permanent repair can be made or do something, it goes a long way. And we really work hard to do that. Customers were skeptical. Obviously competitors were skeptical. But from the time that we launched I mean, every year we're growing double digits, and it's continuing to grow with our business model and our how we do things.
Any competitors trying to match you, and kind of run the same way?
We have seen a couple here and there, but because it's not really, they're not bought into it the way we are. It's not their culture, and as soon as you do not deliver, then it's over. So this is our name. That's what we tell people. I mean, this is not, because you're a maintenance contract customer or you've done business with us before or you just bought a new system. Now, this is anybody. If you fall within our service area, and then you're in our same day area. We're taking care of you. And Yeah, the competitors have tried. Some are, I don't know how it's working out for them or not. But you do see, at the time we did it, there was no one. And now you start seeing it popped up a little bit more, but no one's bold enough yet to put a time frame on it like we do. Where you might have somebody that will do a same day service if you're an existing service member or maintenance contract customer, or if you call by 10 a.m. or if the
Right.
if the weather's just right. But we take it on the chin, and we do it very well, and our guys are dedicated to make sure we deliver.
How does this affect the replacement market? Obviously, you're saying you come out and you're going to repair it the same day, but sometimes you're out there and a system, it maybe doesn't make sense, right? It's going to cost you $2,000 to repair it versus, buying a new system. How does that factor into the business model and what you're promising customers?
Yeah, so I mean, at that point, if the customer decides they want to replace the system, obviously, that's a little bit more involved and not something we can do that day. But there's decisions that are being made, and if they decide to buy a new system, then we're treating it the same with the same level. We're doing everything we can to get it going. If it can be fixed, and even to the point, if we make a temporary repair on the system, if they say, okay, well, let's buy it, this may move forward with the new system, then we'll make a temporary repair on the unit to keep them cool until we can come out and get it replaced. Because unfortunately, with supply chain issues and other things that have happened over the past couple of years, things that we didn't plan on, they delayed some equipment to be able to be readily available prior to 2020. We were not having those issues where now, we have to think about that a little bit, where if a customer makes a selection of a certain type of equipment, it might take a couple days to get it here, and that will, so. But meanwhile, we're treating it the same way. We're getting them temporary cooling. We're doing what we can to keep them, comfortable until it can be done, because you don't want to make a big buying decision and then be uncomfortable during that period of time.
Right. So has it gotten better, the supply chain issues? You feel like we're out of the woods there? And then also, how long of a lag time? We're talking usually a week or 2 to 3 weeks. We did do this study where it said 27% of customers expect it within 1 week, another 54 within 2 or 3 weeks. But obviously the contractor's the last person in the chain. So they're dependent on distributors and manufacturers.
Yeah, I mean, the supply chain issues have gotten better. I think as they were getting better last year, it was getting closer to getting almost back on track, and then we had all of the new CO2 changes, which then created that whole new level of
Right.
delays.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, for the most part, it's getting better. We're still running into issues on parts for existing equipment, because all the focus for the past 2 years, 3 years have been fulfilling new equipment requests and putting in parts for new equipment, and all of the repair parts have been kind of put on the back burner. So that's been some issues there, but for the most part, I don't say we're back to where we were, but we're better, much better than what we used to be.
Do you guys have a goal if someone buys a system, how quickly you want to get back out there?
Well, yeah, typically, we try to keep it within 2 to 3 days of time they make the decision to say yes.
Oh, that's impressive.
Yeah, if we start getting past the week period of time, then we're gonna start increasing our staff even further. If we need to. It really comes down to people. Our processes are ready to go. They're built. They're there. It's just now having the execution of things to be done. But yeah, 2 to 3 days is kind of our threshold. When I start seeing installs getting booked out further than that on a consistent basis, and maybe if it's a one-off for a week or so, that's one thing. But if we start seeing a consistency of it being longer than that for things that we have available, then we're going to be looking at increasing more staff. And that's kind of our goal there.
Yeah, that makes sense. For company culture is, we get you on the list quick and we take care of you on the repair side. It makes sense to do that on the replacement. You don't want to penalize them for giving you a few more bucks, right?
Exactly. It goes everywhere which way. Our guys like staying busy. They don't want to have downtime, lull times, and so on. And our clients, they make a decision. They're ready to have it now. They don't want to wait. We're in a society of instant gratification for everything you do, and we want to make sure we deliver to our clients what they're expecting.
All right, great. Well, Nick, thanks for the time. I know it's a hot summer. You're busy down there. See you in the truck right there. So I'll let you get back to the day job. But we really appreciate you filling this in. I find this to be a fascinating topic.
Thank you, Kyle. Appreciate it.